What's up guys, Lou here, back with another unboxing video, and today we're taking a look at a very interesting item. This is the H6 from Zoom, and as you can probably tell by the appearance on the box, this is a heavy duty and very serious audio recorder. I've been using Zoom products for a little while now. In fact, I'm recording this audio into the H2N, which is sitting right behind me here. This thing is more robust, more intense. It includes a number of different options for getting good audio, whether that be for video or for just straight up audio recordings for music or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get inside the box and I'll give you guys a closer look at what to expect if you pick up a Zoom H6. So before we jump into today's video, I want to talk a little bit about my official website, unboxtherapy.com. I know some of you have visited it and asked questions regarding how I built it, who's hosting it, etc. It's been a little bit of a secret up until now, but I can finally share it with you. I've been using a service called Squarespace, and they make it incredibly easy to get your own website up and running, just like it was for me. I invested very little time, and I got something that looks pretty damn decent in my opinion. They've got so many templates to choose from that you can set something up to your taste. I'm pretty much certain of it. And they got in touch with me. They reached out and said, hey, listen, we'd love to support you. We'd love to sponsor your show. And I was like, really? Man, I'm using the service anyways. That's how I built my site. So anyways, it just was some great synergy there. And so they reached out and said, listen, if your audience wants to get a quick little trial, we want to make that available to them. So there's a link down in the description so you can check out Squarespace for yourself, or you can just type it in. You can go to squarespace.com/unbox, and then from there, in order to sign up and get your free trial of the service, and I think 10% off as well, just go ahead and type in the offer code UNBOX8. I know you guys are going to be impressed by the service, so do not hesitate. So as I just mentioned, I've owned pretty much every Zoom handy recorder that has ever been on the market. This is supposed to be the best ever, so I'm very excited to take a closer look and find out if that's the case. The back of the box might look a little intimidating to some, but it's really actually quite convenient. As you can see, it's a modular design, meaning you can mix and match whatever you need depending on your particular application. This box here includes 2 different microphone capsules, but then you can go out in the future and buy some extension capsules if you need them. So for example, there is a shotgun mic. There's also an extra 2 XLR inputs if you're using a lot of outboard gear and you need 6 multi-track channels. This is just really, really cool for an audio guy like me. On the inside of the box, you have some paperwork, actually quite a bit of paperwork. You've got a manual in a number of different languages. There's also a copy of Cubase LE6, so if you don't have an audio recorder for your computer, then you can go ahead and use that. That's because this device also functions as an audio interface. And in case you're wondering, I'm using it as an interface right now. I've got a Shure SM7B into the device, and the audio you are listening to is coming straight through the Zoom H6. I'm actually really impressed with it, at least what I'm hearing in my headphones right now. You can let me know down in the comments if you're happy with the quality as well. I think it's an improvement over my previous setup. Inside this nice little hard case that you can travel with, you're getting a closer look now at the first microphone capsule. This is the stereo capsule. You can see it has gain control right on there. I'll install it onto the recorder in a moment, but first let's take a look at the other items inside the box. The next is a mid-side pattern microphone. This is very popular for indie filmmakers when you want to get a little bit of ambient noise to go with, say, some conversation, or if you just want to get, I don't know, street sounds or something like that. This is really popular for sampling. It also has a gain control right on the module as well. Next, there's a USB cable included. This will be used when powering the H6 as an audio interface, or if you just want to use it as a file transfer cable, assuming you don't have an SD card reader or you just don't want to use it. They've also included a 2 GB SD card to get you up and running, recording audio straight out of the box. There's some batteries in here, and I've heard some pretty good news on preliminary reviews that people are getting 10, 11 hours of battery life on just those 4 AA's when using this as a standalone product. There's a foam windscreen included. This will help with some of those pops and things that come out of your mouth when you're recording in close proximity, whether that be for interviews or otherwise. That will fit onto the stereo capsule if you choose to use it. So here's the main attraction, the Zoom H6. You've got the battery compartment on the back of the device. You can also see a tripod mount there that can be used to mount, directly onto a tripod, or if you want to mount on top of a DSLR in the hot shoe or something along those lines. This thing is just really, really versatile. The top of the device is where most of the controls are. You have a nice big record button. You also have these gain knobs for each of the 4 XLR inputs and a minus 20 dB pad. On the side of the device is where you'll find those XLR inputs that I just mentioned. Those will also work as instrument inputs too. You have an SD card slot, volume up and down, headphone jack, and the power switch is also on that side. Flipping it over to the other side, you'll find your USB port as well as a menu button, a jog wheel to control the menu interface on the device, and 2 more XLR/instrument inputs. On the bottom/front is where you'll find your line out port as well as a remote control port. The remote control is not currently available at the time of filming this, but it will be available shortly, and it will give you the ability to stop and start recordings without actually being right beside the device. The microphone modules feel really secure to me, actually. You press these 2 little buttons on each side and you can remove the module or install it. The first one you saw there was the mid-side pattern, and here is the stereo one, which is probably a little bit more common. More people will probably be using this on a regular basis, but once it's installed, it feels solid, like it's not really going to go anywhere. The foam screen appears to have a cutout specifically for the stereo microphone, so if you're going to use this thing for field recording and interviews, this will likely be what your setup looks like. The next thing I want to do is power up the device, install the 4 AA batteries, and then boot it up. In order to show you the screen that's included, it has a nice sort of angle to it, so if you install this device on top of your DSLR, you don't have to be right over top of it to take a look at your levels. Instead, you've got a nice little angle to glance at, and that's especially important when you're doing multi-track recording. So if you've got 4 different sources going into the H6, you can monitor each of those 4 levels and see if you're clipping, if you need to turn down the gain, etc. So as you can see here, there's a quick little setup process, and after that, you're ready to start recording, whether that be to SD card or straight into your computer, which is what I'm doing right now. As I explained earlier, I've got the USB cable connected, I've got a microphone going into the first XLR port, and it's the Shure SM7B. If you're not into audio very much, you might not know that microphone. It's a very popular broadcast microphone, but it's notorious for needing a lot of power from the preamp on your recording device in order to sound good. I've got the preamp on the H6 set to 7 out of 10 right now, and I'm getting a nice clean signal with very little background noise. So anyways, I'm impressed at this point. All right, guys, that wraps up this unboxing and first look at the Zoom H6 audio recorder. If you're interested in pricing and availability, I will put a link down in the description. If you enjoyed this content, please remember to leave a thumbs up down below. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Later, guys.